peace and harmony. I have a dream.
This is called Dream Big Saturday, and we're here to. It's more like a mastermind, guys. The more I think about it, this is what we're doing. So each Saturday, I open up this channel. I'm cutting it down to an hour and a half now instead of 2, because I think that I've been playing around with this. So give me grace to do that. If it goes over, if we need to do that, fine. But we're doing an hour and a half. And then basically, we're trying to embrace the spirit of friendship, gain knowledge. Feel free to share your big dream. Everybody's got a big dream. Think about it. And ask for help when you need help along that journey. And then sincerely help to others. Offer help to others. Think about how you can help that other person to get to their next step. Then take action towards your dream. And then take notes during it so you can share with people who are here. And this is feel free to have any kind of suggestions. It's a room where, I offer, I want to hear from you guys. I want you to feel comfortable. And I want you to come back. I do a mastermind on Fridays, and I've been doing a mastermind for a long time. I love it because what it does is it takes you say you're going to do something, and by golly.
Yes.
Because if it's on your list, you need to do it.
Absolutely.
So I will start with who you are and your favorite quote for the week. And who would like to take that on first?
What's my favorite?
Grace.
So my favorite quote, and it's a biblical one, the best one that I can remember is, I am that, I am. And so I've just been really working on the full embodiment of I am joy, grace, harmony, because we know my parents didn't name me that. So just really embracing the different parts of that. Sometimes there's more joy, sometimes there's more harmony, sometimes there's more grace. I'm working on putting it all together at one time, but always a constant, never evolving, beautiful chapter of journey. So that's it.
And what do you do, Grace? What is your gift to everybody? What do you do?
So I'm gifted at remembering connections and puzzle piecing and putting them together. And also, I like creating joint ventures. I think pretty much everyone knows that I like doing that, and seeing power plays. I like to take power plays if we can, and really, because you can do so much more. I mean, there's nothing wrong with onesie twosie, but you're not going to really make a really big impact onesie twosie everything. Yeah, you can pay a phone bill or something like that, but you're not really going to change a whole bunch of people's lives if you just do one nice little thing. You could put together groups and stuff. So and Paul Michael's familiar with the one I'm working on now with the medical glove thing, so we'll get to that later.
Well, thank you. And who wants to go next?
I can certainly. One of my favorite quotes that I live by pretty much all the time is, I can do all things through Christ who is my strength. I love that.
Excellent. And what do you do? I know you're our speaker today.
But yes. Carol Stanley, and I am a communications specialist. I focus on voice performance, presentation skills, and the language of influence. Because for whether you're in sales or you're married and you have a family, you have to be an influencer. And that's what I'm all about, is to help people to understand and just give them tools to be a very excellent communicator and influencer.
Excellent. Oh, Michael, you're up.
That leaves me. The quote that I've been living in and with for the past couple of 2.5, almost 3 decades is a quote from Buckminster Fuller. I actually have a quote that I could display on the screen if I could share it, but in any case, it's, how do you make the world work for 100% of humanity without ecological damage or disadvantage to anyone? And that's sort of a paraphrase, but it's a quote. It's the definition of the world game by Buck, it was invented by Buckminster Fuller. Have you heard of Buckminster Fuller before?
Oh yes, yes.
Oh yeah.
Right. And so It's on the homepage of a website I helped build systems for and taught hundreds of people how to do website design and development for that. And it really drives a lot of things that I do. I'm a classically trained system design engineer. I have all that engineering background from the #1 engineering school in Canada, still the #1 engineering school in Canada. Yes, I graduated a long time ago.
Doesn't matter.
I've been in information technology. I've been moving electrons professionally since 1980. That dates me, I understand. That's a solid 40-year career in that. And so that's my quote, and that's who I am, and I can apply those skills and tools to a lot of different things in a lot of different ways. So sometimes I surprise people. I just seem to have a knack for being able to build the organizational structures. It's just something that comes naturally to me.
And so your project you're working on right now.
The project I'm working on right now is called Green Star Standard. It's a way for you to actually live, work, and breathe in an environmentally friendly basis. But more than that, not only can we optimize your greenness as a company or organization, but we also take mind that we want to maintain any quality or performance advantages that you have, as well as making sure that you're profitable all at the same time. It's called the triple bottom line.
Carol,
Yes.
I didn't get your bio. Did you send it today?
You know what? I don't know that I sent it to you, which I apologize for, but I have a mini bio on my slide presentation. So
Okay, but I'll just introduce you as a wonderful woman
thank
who
you.
always has a smile on her face and has a heart of gold. And I am honored to
Thank
be
you,
with
Kathy.
Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and make sure you get your screen. I've been
Okay.
practicing on this stuff, guys. I'm doing multiple participants can share. Okay. That should
Okay,
be-
cool. So I will share my screen. Here we go. And I'll go to slideshow. Where's my slideshow?
It worked.
It did work.
Nice.
Okay. So here we go, guys. So today I'm just going to be sharing with you about the fact that you were born to be awesome. And of course, my book is on the screen. And I know for me, in my view, I've got all of us. Yeah, I'm going to put that out of the way there. Okay, so I want to share with you, if I can make this go, some of the contents of the book are things like, why this book, why now? Would the real me please stand up? The tree of excellence says it all. Jesus is real, the key that unlocks greatness in you, etc. You can read all of the chapters that are in this book, and I'll be sharing some of the essence of some of those with you today. So I sure thank you. 90% of success is showing up. So thank you for showing up. Appreciate you. So this is my mini bio, if you will. So I am a communication specialist, voice performance coach, presentation skills expert, and bank code trainer. And I noticed, Joy Grace, that you are a bank code person as well. Are you a trainer or working on it or what?
No, I'm not a trainer, and someday down the road, I've just been doing other things, but I absolutely love what they're doing, and I've been part of their affiliate and JV stuff, so I did very well with it last year.
Oh, good. Yeah, I really love bank code. It's a game changer for sure. So then I certainly keynote. I been a professional singer for many years, radio and podcast host, published author of a couple of books, my latest being Born to Be Awesome. And I've been featured in Entrepreneur Magazine, Women of Distinction, and others. I've spent, let me get my little slides to work here. Good grief, what's going on? Oh, there we go. 50 years on stage, screen, TV, radio. I've got all this background, right? Video and radio and recording. Was a professional model, premier coach for eWomen Network, pro speaker for eWomen, and a CEO Space Club president. My job is to encourage and equip and lift you up. That's what I dearly love. So it wasn't always this way. I just want to tell you a quick story. You see my so-called expertise, right? But the deal is that it wasn't always, again, it wasn't always this way. I remember, because I've been performing and training people for a long time. And I remember a time when I was filling in for Vonda K. Van Dyke the year she became Miss America. And I pop out on stage, and I had been involved, I had been doing Broadway lead stuff and so forth in local Broadway, and never had a memory slip, you know, dance band singer, yada, 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 never had a memory slip. I would walk out on stage that night and I bombed. There's just no other way to say that. I absolutely bombed, meaning I had no clue what my name was, much less what the next lyrics were, right? And I wanted the earth to open up and swallow me. I was devastated, absolutely shot down, devastated, obliterated. And I developed a phobia because of that, that I got really excellent at cheat sheets of any kind on stage, to the point even where I had a baby prop in my hands, singing a wonderful, I've been modeling all evening and singing and so forth. And so I'm out there and it's Jenny Rebecca, 4 days old. How do you like the world so far, with the words taped on her face? I got good at cheat sheets, but I finally came to a place in my life where I had to stop trusting me, because I obviously found out I was not that trustworthy when it came to being infallible. So I decided that the best course of action I could possibly take would be to totally rely on God in my life and allow Him to put those words back in my mouth when I hit those panic times. So sure enough, I had made a decision to go out on the ramp, 2,000 people in the audience. I'd been modeling all evening. Now it's time for a special song. I went out there with no cheat sheet. And, you know, everything was going fine. And then all of a sudden the panic hit me again. And that all you can see is red. This all happens in a fraction of a second, but it happened. But this time, rather than allowing the panic to nail me, I called out to God at the same fraction of a second, and boom, the words were back in my mouth. The next music cue, and of course, music is a memory cue, but it's when you're in that kind of a panic, it doesn't matter. So God absolutely put those words back in my mouth, and off to the races I was. But it totally was a turning point in my life to help me to totally allow to integrate God into my life, and Jesus Christ has been my strength the whole time. And I dearly, I love Him, but I love what God can do for other people as well as myself, and that's why I train. And I don't know why my clicker's not working. Come on.
Welcome to hard-load software.
Yeah, geez, Louise. I'm gonna put this back down again. That seems to help. Why is this not working? That's really nuts. Okay, here we go. So, actually, I think I want to go back one, two. I apologize, you guys. I don't know why. Oh, I guess I don't. Okay. Mistakes in life is what I want to share with you. So, one of the first and foremost is not knowing who you are, your why, and the importance of credibility. Would the real me please stand up, right? It's so important that we really know who we are and what our why is. Knowing what to do takes us only so far, but knowing who you are and why you do what you do always takes you to the top. Would you guys not agree? Your purpose is tied up with your why. What drives you? What did you love doing as a child? And what makes your heart sing? It's so, so important. So why is this important? May I suggest that you see yourself as God sees you, to truly step into that excellence and be awesome. Be and achieve your excellent, awesome best. So how do we apply this? Well, it's the tree of excellence is the key. A tree is the mode and standard by which everything grows. It exemplifies that spirit, mind, body. And it totally helps us to understand that every single one of us are totally unique. And that means that you are only one of a kind, remarkable, and extraordinary. So I want to share with you out of the book, The Tree of Excellence. This is an image, a copywritten image that came to me about 30 years ago. And then I discovered, holy cow, it's in scripture. That, you know, revelation moment, right? But I want to share with you that when you look at the tree, I'm going to see if I can pull up maybe not. It doesn't matter. So when you look at the tree, the relationship with yourself is below ground. You obviously have a body, you have a mind, you happen to be a spirit person, but below ground, it's the roots of your body, and you are the owner. You're the caretaker of the temple, but you are the owner of this thing called a body. O standing for oxygen, W for water, excuse me, N for nutrition, E for exercise, and R for rest. It also includes areas of grooming, stature, wardrobing, makeup, hair, etc. Boy, something got me. Okay. Your area, your mind roots. And again, this is your relationship with yourself. Because in life, it's all about relationship. So you take things in, obviously, through your five senses of hearing, seeing, smell, taste, and touch. Boy, excuse me. You have an intellect, emotions, and every thought you have is connected to emotion, and you can't separate them. And so it all boils down to the fact that you have an awful lot of what you operate on is your subconscious, because that basically drives your behavior. So everything you speak or that you read, that you interact with, goes into that subconscious and directs behavior. But the good news here is that you have a choice. You have a will. You can choose to understand faith and fear are the two strongest emotions in life. And fear, when you're experiencing it, can feel pretty strong, but faith will actually overpower it, and it's 10 times stronger, at least. So we have a choice to choose faith, to choose love, to choose the good things. I love the latest book out there called Love is Just Damn Good Business, and I so agree. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing. So the top of the tree, so you take all these nutrients of your relationship with yourself, and it goes up into the top of your tree where you are a child of God. Now, we all were born with family roots, or family branches, I should say. So you are a daughter or a son of somebody. In other words, you had parents. You maybe had siblings. Perhaps you are a spouse or a mate. Perhaps you have children, grandchildren, etc. It's family oriented. You're an aunt or an uncle, etc. This is all family. And guess what? You're dealing with people, are you not? Then over here, you've got volunteer community groups, your coaching, your church, your civic organizations. You have friends. You're in choir, clubs, community, etc. And here you are a earner, contributor, an employee, and business owner, seller. But the point is, we're dealing with people throughout this whole top of the tree. And that's where the fruit of the Spirit, I don't know about you, but I need help when I'm dealing with other people to be able to truly love them, be joyful, have peace and project peace, have patience. That's a big one for most of us. Kindness, always kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Now, for most of us, it's the patience and self-control that are the biggies. But as we grow in life, generally speaking, the fruit of the Spirit is much more fulfilling. Let me put it that way. So this is the tree of excellence, and you will see it in the book explained in detail. Seeing balance is like a three-legged stool. So in a three-legged stool, if you've ever sat on one, you know that even if the legs are loose, it still will seat itself and support you. But if even one leg is disconnected, the whole thing goes down. It's the most unstable piece of furniture. And your whole, again, body, mind, spirit, mind, body, are all like that three-legged stool. They all interact, but they're very dependent on each other. And science has even proven that spirit drives mind and mind drives body, and they all interact. It's a wonderful thing. The tree shows you balance, the stool shows you balance, and they all support each other. Okay, let's see if this will actually work. Aha. Knowing who you are and your why leads you to your purpose and credibility. So what is credibility? Well, it's the level of respect others hold and think about you. So why is this important? With credibility, others will believe what you believe, value what you value, support your plans, help you achieve your goals, be honest with you, and trust you. Would you not agree that this is important to your life, your business, your family, and your speaking? Credibility is a huge thing. I want to share with you the 7 deadly credibility destroyers. This is from a TED Talk by Julian Treasure, and I love it, so I've incorporated it. Complaining, dogmatism, exaggeration, excuses, blame throwing, right? Gossip, judging. We can be fruit inspectors, right? And negativity in general. Those will kill your credibility. Absolutely. But the 4 cornerstones are what I call HAIL. It's H for honesty, A for authenticity, I for integrity, and L for love. HAIL. HAIL is a very important concept. You heard right. We've decided to freeze you until medical science finds a cure for your bad attitude. Are you credible? Ready to be credible? Yes. So choose your thoughts, faith, and love, because those are strong and they will overshadow any fear you've ever had. Gratitude, the attitude of gratitude always takes you far, and you want to speak with credibility. Now, another mistake is not knowing how to speak with excellence. To be credible, speaking HAIL at your excellent best is a must. For excellence, you must know how to find the sweet spot of your voice. That involves your head, how you're thinking. It involves your 2 vocal chambers or horns. It involves your body. Now let's look at your head. What happens here, my clock is going off, is your mind, your thought energy is a physical entity, and it absolutely projects an aura around you, an energy around you that animals read and people do too. Have you ever come up, against someone who is very negative, and what happens to you? You want to back away. By the same token, a wonderful, positive person, and you immediately want to come forward, right? So that energy, and animals read it just absolutely like a book. Whether you say a word or not, the animals read your energy. Okay, now your body is another element. Is again, it's a three-pronged sweet spot. So your head, but your body is very important. How to stand or sit in stature with grounding, because when you ground your body, your mind grounds as well. This is so important for speakers in particular. And so the little side picture there is of someone standing in a very cocky, very arrogant stance. Feet are out, hands on hips, and guess what? They're pushing the audience away with that body stature. Now, by the same token, the next one, he's got his hands behind his back. And again, he's standing open-legged with his feet slightly out, feet in an outward angle like this. Even though I was trained as a dancer and thought this was an okay stance, as a speaker, it's not, because it's arrogant, and they may not know why they're feeling a little negative towards you, but that body stance is pushing them away. So standing with your feet straight and long toes forward is a very, very excellent neutral body posture. And again, we can all do this. You want to pull up with your arms into the ceiling, hard, hard, hard. Now pull out like you're Nadia Comaneci, dismounting. Now leave your chest where it is, but drop your arms. Relax your shoulders, but leave that chest up. Now put an imaginary bungee cord in the crown of your head and let it pull you straight up into that ceiling. Again, dancers, actors, everybody needs to understand this stature. Now your feet are on the ground. I know you're all sitting, but put your feet on the ground, flat, long toes forward, and feel the earth up through your feet. And now take your core muscles in your core and shove that energy down between your feet. Now, if I was to physically push on you, I wouldn't be able to push you over. When people are standing and I put them in this kind of stature, they are strong as oxes. It's amazing. And when you ground your body, again, your mind grounds. So it's a very important thing. Okay. And last but not least, I want to talk about the vocal horns. This is where pitch, pace, pause comes in, the quality of your voice. And there are things we can do just right off the top, easy stuff, where if a person, like I run into women sometimes that they're all up here, they drive everybody crazy, right? So I make them do hooty owl sounds, because that immediately makes them aware of the openness in the back of their throat and helps them understand that their pitch it'll pocket them down into more of a pocket of their pitch right away. By the same token, if men or women are down in the gravel, I make them do sirens, right? And that will immediately help pocket them up. So if you're too high, I pocket you down. If you're too low, I pocket you up. And it's just a really fast, easy thing to make people aware of the power of your voice. So, and the last but not least, and I don't know if you guys can see it. I know my view of all of you is in the way here, but basically what should have shown up for you is the fact that 93% of your communication is in that sweet spot. It's in your head, how your head works, your body, and your voice. That's all of 93%. Stop and think about that. Only 7% is your content. It's important, don't get me wrong, but everything else, and especially for my beloved knowledge and blueprint people, you really need to pay attention to the power of the sweet spot of your voice, meaning where your head is. It's so easy to walk out on stage or on Zoom and start thinking about, well, gee, is everything on me okay? Or in other words, all your thoughts are about you. They have to be 100% on your audience. It changes everything. So it's very, very important, that 93%, that knowledge base of the 93%. So who of you feels nervous when you speak? Have you ever felt nervous when you speak? Of course, we all have. Nerves are your best friend. They really are. That adrenaline pool that makes you feel like it's fear. It's really not. Don't let fear take you out and destroy your credibility. Fear is just false evidence appearing real, meaning that adrenaline that none of us like, but everybody must have. The most seasoned performers will tell you the same thing. No matter how seasoned and comfortable they are on stage, there is an energy adrenaline pool that always happens, but instead of panicking, we accept it. We go, okay, showtime, we're on, right? So it's very important to understand that, because this so-called false evidence appearing real, this so-called fear, will literally take you out. But I guarantee you, if you will understand what it is and work with it, it's like excitement on Christmas morning. Your energy and the gift of you and your message is for that audience. And how does it feel to give a gift? Feels awesome, right? That's how I want you to interpret this adrenaline pool, which is a gift to you, truly. It helps you do your best work. So I want you to interpret it as Christmas morning instead. Okay, and the last mistake I want to just share with you is not understanding the language of relationships, influence, and sales. And of course, this is all about bank. And I'm not going to go through the whole thing with bank, but I want you to understand the power of having a system and some tools that are personality-based, people-focused, and profit and purpose-driven. Okay, it's a game changer. It's all about having ways to crack a person's code. And I am happy to I can send in all of you a free crack your code invitation, so you can go online and crack your code. It's just very simple. It's if we were to do this live together, I would simply say, do me a favor and look at the 12 words on each of these cards. Then I want you to stack them in order of importance to you, because it will save us time and help me to truly serve you better. And so that's what bank is all about. It's helping you to know the person in front of you and what their value system is, so that you can connect and be effective. It's critical. And this is such a simple, effective tool. I'm certified in 3 other personality profile systems. They're all psychology based. They're fabulous for knowing yourself. But what the real key difference is with bank code is that you want to know the person in front of you. If you're speaking to an audience, you want to know how to incorporate words that will have every single one of all 4 personality value systems lean in and want more of you. But if you're, so here I am. If I am let me put my glasses on. If I'm a blueprint and we're speaking and you're a blueprint, we're going to communicate just fine, right? But if all of a sudden I'm a blueprint and you're an action, now what's going to happen? We're not going to communicate very well, right? Yeah. So Paul Michael, did you have a question? Okay. Okay. So if you learn the language, if you will, of that action person, now you being a blueprint, now you can communicate and have the action person lean in and know that you care, know that you get them. By the same token, so now you've increased 100% your communication ability. By the same token, if you are a nurturer, I want to learn nurture language. And Paul Michael, here you come. If I have a high knowledge person, I want to be able to speak their language. I am a very high AN. In other words, I'm action nurture. I love people. I'm very people oriented. However, I married a BK, a blueprint. The blueprint is comfortable in the box, and they're very, risk adverse, but they're rule followers, etc. Your action person is totally out of the box. Nurture gives gifts in the box and recycles the box. And your knowledge person invented the sucker. They invented and engineered the box. So that just gives you a little brief idea of how the system works, but it's really effective. Trust me, it really is. If you know all 4 of those languages, you're in good shape. So I'll just share this briefly. companies spend thousands of dollars, millions of dollars, teaching their people how to sell, when the only real question is, why do people buy? Right? Why do they buy from you? And that's what bank code addresses. And I train it all the time as a communication specialist. I tell you, this is a key piece. It absolutely is. And I know Joy Grace agrees with me. She's been involved in. So why they buy, the whole thing unlocks the secrets, the science, the system, and the solution for you during those trainings. So here we are at the end of the presentation. You were born to be awesome. I cover all that I've shared and more, much, much more in the book, Born to be Awesome. It's found on Amazon and barnesandnobles.com, as well as zulonpress.com. And I wanted to share with you my 5-day Facebook challenge coming up April 26th through 30th, all around some of the data in the book, Born to be Awesome. So go to Facebook groups and look for Born to be Awesome 5-day challenge and just join. You can ask to join, but I don't think you have to. I think you can just join because I made it public. So that's me. It's been delightful to be with you. And I'm here to answer questions as well.
Excellent.
I have
Excellent.
a question. How often are you training the bank code? Is that going to be on part of your Born to be Awesome 26th through the 30th, or are those two different things?
Yes, I will be, I'm not going into depth with bank code, but my upcoming program that I'm offering during that challenge is where you could jump on. There's a new, and you may be aware of this, Joy Grace, but there is a whole new training system, because I'm a coach with them as well, around the 6 intelligences of bank. It's brilliant. It teaches people how to use those tools, but really pull it all together and be emotionally intelligent, highly, highly, highly emotional intelligent. Because the stats are amazing. People with emotional intelligence will outplay in the world of sales, or again, relationships and so forth. They will always outdo anybody, even with a very, very high intellect. The emotional intelligence, it out trumps it by a lot. It really does. So these tools help you to become and to be able to utilize your emotional intelligence to a very, very high level. So it's really great, but it also integrates sales and business and the AI, their AI, artificial intelligence, put Sherry Tree, the founder and owner of the company, in front of the United Nations because it's so incredible. So those are all great, incredible tools. And I will be sharing that stuff.
It's awesome. I spent a lot of last year on the Zooms with them and with their AI, but it 100% worked. 100%. I had the best year last year ever, and went from, and this year I've already in the first quarter already gone from where we were last year. So
isn't that great? Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Well,
Because I've been studying it for a long time, but I wasn't really. I finally got it. Like I got it last year. Like it sunk in. Because sometimes you got to keep doing it over and over, over and over and over and over. You got to keep, practicing. I had the book, the tapes, all of it.
Yeah. And sometimes we just have to get past ourselves to finally get it, how powerful it really is. And yet it's an extremely simple tool, but oh my goodness, it's powerful in that. And again, for speakers, one of the reasons I was drawn to it is that when you're speaking to an audience, you better know how to communicate with all 4 basic value systems. Because this system is all about values as opposed to your psychology. You want to know your psychological how you're put together psychologically. But what's really important in life and in speaking to an audience is you want everybody in that audience to be leaning in and wanting more of you. And the bank code system gives you that knowledge and that tool base to be able to do that. So I was immediately attracted to it as a communicator and as a speaker. Oh my goodness, because it makes all the difference in the world, to be able to really help other people.
I have a question for you.
Sure.
So do you rehearse before you do any presentations or anything like that?
Yes. I mean, I will, if I'm using a slide deck, I'll put that slide deck together. But I rely a lot on, of course, this kind of stuff, because I I know it up one side and down the other, is I did not rehearse this a lot. I did go through it, obviously, as I was putting the slide deck, because I always put a slide deck together very specifically for the audience I'm talking to, and what I'm bringing in and what I'm not bringing into the slide deck. But generally speaking, I love speaking without a slide deck, without any cheat sheet of any kind. What I do is I will build a mind map, and I train people in mind mapping, but I will build a mind map, which is like, if I tell you not to have a pink elephant, what do you got? You have a pink elephant.
Mhm.
So the mind map affects your brain the same way. Rather than a linear outline, it's a branching. You have a central theme of whatever your talk is about, and then you have branches off of that theme, and you use keywords in caps, you use color, and you use pictures. And trust me, if you draw this by hand, you can do it on computer, but the hand drawing is even more powerful. Once you pencil it out and brainstorm with yourself, right, to be sure you get all your golden nuggets and your silver nuggets off those golds, etc. And sometimes in that process, you'll discover, ooh, this silver up here really needs to be a gold. I mean, you'll brainstorm with yourself and figure out how you really want to do this presentation, and then you redo it using your words in caps, your little pictures, and your color. And sometimes I'll do a mind map 3 different times. And so by the time I get done with that, I know my presentation up one side and down the other, just like the pink elephant. And so I can close my eyes and see exactly my presentation and what point comes next. And if I'm at all concerned, then I will take that 8.5 by 11 mind map, and I will lay it on I have a lovely lyre music stand that I will lay that on. So if I need to reference, I just glance at it and I know exactly where I am.
No, you did an excellent job. I just wanted to let people know, even when I go to do it, I rehearse. I will rehearse.
Rehearsing is important. Yeah, especially if you're dealing with stuff you do not know in up one side and down the other. But even if you do, it's important to rehearse.
Yeah, even if you do, because that way, when you get on that stage,
yeah,
you're very comfortable now. And even
yes,
seeing the audience, do you see your audience ahead of time while you're rehearsing?
Oh, absolutely.
Who they are?
Yeah, yeah, it's important. And of course, on Zoom, it's important to keep your eyes in the camera, which I was not great at today. But the point here is that you keep your eyes in the camera. And because your audience is your best friend on the other side of that camera. So you're speaking, well, even though you're speaking to a lot of people, you're speaking to one precious person on the other side of that camera. And that keeps you in your hail zone, honest, authentic, with integrity, and most of all, love. It's that hail zone is very, very important.
Well, I appreciated you very
well,
much.
thank you.
Oh,
Other questions? Paul Michael, how did this land?
You're muted.
You're muted. Okay, now you.
There were parts of it that went directly to my heart, and the other part I was working to figure it out in my head. And so it varied between the two. So I went from this way to this way.
Which part was putting you in your head?
The things I hadn't heard before, like a lot of your acronyms. You know, you had a lot of acronyms, and HAIL is a really good one. And there were just a number of them, and I'm going, that's a new way to look at it. A lot of this was fresh material for me.
Oh, good.
I've heard of bank before from numerous people.
Yes.
I had entirely forgotten it as a speaker, and I don't have the secrets of them, you know, on a cheat sheet or anything that I can work with, you know, up front in a visual format, so that me being a highly visual person, as opposed to maybe an auditory or taste centered or however my learning modality is, I don't have those cheat sheet Oh yeah, I got to remember that and then put it into the way that I speak.
Well, I'll tell you something. I'm happy to send you the, is your email in the chat?
It will be.
Yeah, because then I will send you an invitation to crack your code online. And my advice to you would be, certainly you can get the cards. I can send you cards, for $20, I'll send you a set of cards. But the point here is that when you take it online, and I'm going to stop sharing here. Boop, 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 boop. When you take it online, you can write down those 12 words of each of those cards and then start to incorporate those into your presentation.
Oh, okay.
Okay, does that make sense? Because that in itself will have people loving you,
So
truly.
those are like those key hidden power words that should be there for, to help develop the
Because,
relationship and
yes,
build
you're
trust.
going to automatically tend to attract the knowledge person just by virtue of your
Yeah.
demeanor. Your demeanor speaks knowledge all over the place.
Yeah.
And so you want things in there that are going to attract the blueprint, who is all about structure and planning and systems and yada, 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 right? And those words are there for you. And of course, you've got to attract me, the action,
Yes.
because otherwise you're going to tend to be pushing me away. Because if you get long data, I'm out of here, right?
Yep.
And the nurture part of all of us wants to be appreciated, and so your authenticity, your integrity, all those things are going to be very important to a high nurturer. And the relationship, the softness of you, etc.
Right.
And so those words, the 12 words on that card will give you a big clue as to how you have to incorporate yourself into any talk. The
Okay.
action, as well as the nurture and the blueprint into your high knowledge, because your high knowledge is going to stand out.
It's there. It's
Yeah.
stuck in me. Yeah.
Well, it's the beauty of who you are. And, and those people, those of us who are high action and nurturers, we tend to want to thumb our nose a little bit at blueprints and knowledge, but we can't, because we have all four in us. And my knowledge is actually pretty high. As a presenter and as a performer, I go to the research, and I become very anal about putting things together. Okay. But that's good. It's the part, but when I get on stage, I'm all action nurture for the most part, being sure that I'm talking knowledge and blueprint at the same time.
Yeah. Well, I'm in the process, when I talk about stuff that I talk about, I generally talk about things that are innovation. And are you familiar with the difference between innovation and change?
Yes, actually.
Innovation is a new vision of the future, and change is a change from what's present, is something different than what's present.
Right.
So it's a different
That's right.
perspective.
And
So,
innovation is the name of the game in business today.
truly it is.
Yes.
And so when I talk, I generally talk, my big ideas are truly innovation, because it's a completely different vision of the future.
Yes, I love it.
And then building, are you familiar with a gentleman by the name of Peter Sengay?
I'm not really.
Okay, so Peter Sengay, he had a book, a famous book 20 plus years ago called The Fifth Discipline. He would do systems thinking, but he would also talk about something called the ladder of inference.
Huh.
And there's 3 or 4 or 5 different distinctions, all related to that. And then I also, I'm piling on all these things. How do you actually learn, and how do you make that jump from where you are to an innovation state, a different future? You literally have to change what you're doing. And
I love it. This
so,
would be a fantastic talk.
and so it's a question of, can you act at the speed of instruction? And most people can't. Most people are so closely tied to their habits and behaviors that can't change in the moment.
And that's why I do what I do, is that because you have to know how to put, and I didn't use any of it with you guys today because I was concerned with time, but you want to use a lot of engagement tools so that they walk away knowing that they can do it. Now they're going to be more apt to continue to do it. Engagement tools are powerful, and I train people with those on purpose. And in this little thing that you experience, I slid over several engagement tools, because the truth is, every 5 minutes you need to have one in your talk.
Ah,
Because brains will go to sleep every 5 minutes. They go la 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 la, and they need to be awakened again, right?
yeah, you had a unique. I've not heard that what you presented in that way before, and so I was like, oh, this is good. Oh, this is good.
Oh, good. Well, I love helping people as yourself, Paul Michael, to understand some of these things, and again, I take you through your content and help you really know how to jazz it up. And again, it's your content, so you don't have to agree with me and you don't have to use what I'm suggesting, but I help you understand why I'm suggesting what I am, and how, and the whole thing is to help you become extremely effective, because that's your bottom line, is to help people understand what you're about, to help them, for crying out loud, right?
Absolutely, I have a personal a personal habit that, or a personal thought or a personal belief that, it's going to take 10 minutes for me to tell someone the real vision of what I have. And I've been working all year, last 14 months. I'm on version 16 so far, just since the pandemic hit. Version 16 of how to tell people about Green Star Standard. And every single time it changes, every single time it gets better or worse, depends on the group of people. And so what I say today is so different from what I said 2 years ago. And yet it's not far enough. There are people in a number of your categories, bank categories, that have a sense of it, but I haven't fully connected to them. And they go, oh, my intellectual, my high, all those highfalutin words. They say, dumb it down, dumb it down. Well, how do I dumb it down? Well, I've never had kids.
Rather than dumbing it down, may I make a suggestion? Rather than dumbing it down, because you are brilliant, and rather than dumbing it, you want to put things into it that will draw people to what you just said. In other words, to help them want to stay with you. So again, look at those 4 cards I'm going to send you, in the electronic version, and copy those words, because I want you to start thinking about how can you incorporate those concepts in those words?
Okay.
Which will draw people more into what you're doing. Because again, how do you react when I say dumb it down? What goes on emotionally for you? Doesn't that happen?
I get frustrated.
Yes, yes.
But no one wants to spend the 2 years that I spent to learn the language of the experts in the fields.
Okay, all right. So you take the language, and you add into that the 3rd grade, if you will, the 3rd grade explanation of that language.
Question.
Yes.
Do you have pictures?
Yes. Again, mind map
I'm
ideas.
very visual. So
Yes.
if you have pictures to present to us, this is what this looks like. If you don't do this, this is what this will happen. If you do this, this could happen,
Yes.
and this possibility
Yes.
could happen too. I would just be going, oh, wow.
Yeah,
Oh,
those
wow.
are engagement tools, and those are things that are hitting, because everybody is highly visual. Even if they're highly auditory, they're still highly visual, because that's the biggest part of your brain. So even, it doesn't matter learning styles almost. If you've got lots of good visuals, not a lot of words, but lots of good visuals, you're going to pull people in big time.
Okay.
Yeah. And the biggest, I used to go to big presentations with my husband, who was a high level engineer and actually manager at Boeing. And what would happen is we would be sitting through these very boring word presentations. And I came out of there going, Mike, we've got to fix this. These are still human beings and they need the pictures, they need the color, they need these things. So let's give it to them, for crying out loud, right? Yeah, anyway, enough said.
I mean, this is why we're here. Now, there's something else that I want to do before we leave, you guys. I want everybody to tell us your big dream. Okay, your big dream. And I'm going to start with Joy Grace, because you had, I locked you out. You had to get back in. You had to call me to get back in.
Well, I'm glad you noticed on the phone, because I was like, well, she
My
never
phone's
pays
right
attention.
beside me. Yeah, it's on mute, but I saw it.
I said she never pays attention to her phone when she's on the Zoom, but I'm gonna let her know, because I was sitting there and I
It was
thought,
on mute.
but I said, okay. And well, you know, I wish I had just one, because, you know, I have so many, and I love what Carol's doing with bank code. I love what Jai Hudis is doing with X the Game, and I'm changing my background here in just a second. And I'm just a connector, so, you know, I've got multiple projects and I don't really know how to pick just one. So my biggest dream is just that I have too many dreams. Like I have like 12 massive ones going. See, there's X the Game, that's Jai Hudis, and there's a whole bunch of stuff he can do with the Spark and connecting it, and David Fagan and CEO Space and New Peaks and this, you know, Sherry Tree and all of it. So I wish that I could just say there was only one, but there's so many. So that's my biggest challenge right there. Is saying, and Paul Michael knows, because he knows about the medical glove thing, and you guys are both involved in hyper growth, and we're doing all these wonderful things.
The hyper growth, you guys have gotten me involved in that, which I like that idea, because that's a way to fund my dream. And I really like that. And then so the hyper, and we had Jude on last week, and she told us about that. I want to stick with what I enjoy and what I feel I'm good at, my expertise. And I know I can dabble in some other things, but why not JV partner with people and have them to figure out, even we've got the square right here, right? We got these people right here. Figure out, Carol, you're the person to go to JV with, so people can, before they get on that stage, they can know how to do it and what to do.
And I love
Boy,
JV.
Grace, over here, you're the person that knows the audience, and you know how to reach out to people and crowds and who's who, and you remember everybody's doggone name. Girl, you have a gift that is wonderful. So you're that person to say, oh, we got this project here. Joy Grace, we need you on board, because we know that you can reach out to people and you know who's who. Paul Michael Decker, I haven't figured out yet. I tried to approach you on that website thing. You said the budget, but you can do that kind of stuff. I'm here.
I not only do it, but I can set up systems so that it happens effortlessly.
And what your question is I would have to go to you and say, this person knows exactly what they're doing. They can help you. They do have a budget. So don't ask them for free. Don't insult them. Hi,
Great to see you.
Benita, if you'll let everybody, does everybody know who Benita is and what she does?
She's awesome. She's a ventriloquist.
It is awesome. And basically, we're going to big dreams right now. Okay, your big dream. And we're going to go to Paul Michael Decker. What is your big dream? Joy Grace was telling us hers, because we're going to quit at 12:30 today.
Okay.
Paul Michael Decker.
My big dream is to change everyone's buying or way that they buy products and services for their organization,
Ah,
so that They get the benefits of it's good for the planet. You maintain the quality and performance or improve it that you currently get, and you maintain or improve the price that you're getting at the value that you receive for what
Nice.
you pay.
Nice.
So it's great for the planet. It's great for people. It's great in pricing.
Awesome.
3 Ps.
Excellent.
And I'm going to share mine real quick.
Okay.
Mine is to really, I want to reach much more of the faith community to help them really step into excellence and be everything they can be. That's really my heart and my passion. And I generally work in more of a secular environment, but you know what? I love people, and I love the people that love the Lord, because they've got a leg up, to be honest. And in my opinion, obviously it's my opinion, but anyway, I'm looking to reach more of the faith community. And so if you guys have connections, let me know.
I have a suggestion. My daughter does prayers for peacemakers
Ooh, I love it.
on Facebook, and she does just a little thing every morning. It's around 8:45. It would be pop on. I'm not kidding you. She's just got a small group, but it's on Facebook, and she does a ministry. It's a little ministry, but just all of us.
I love it. You know, I used to do Jesus Calling every morning on Facebook. And so, yeah, I need to go back to that, but I would love to talk with her.
So you're on Facebook. I can find you on Facebook, right, Carol?
Yeah.
To have you go over there, because it's just a nice little, and they're from all over the world. She's even got somebody from Germany over there.
That's
It's
awesome.
for anybody that would like to go on, but I go on every morning just for that nice little boost. She's quick, and we say a prayer for the world. That's it,
I
but a
love
nice
it.
verse.
Awesome sauce. Yeah, great.
And then Bonita, your big dream.
Oh, I have a lot of them. But the idea is to spread more joy out into the world in serious, stressful times. Have people be more resilient through humor as one of the ways. It's not the only way. But, and also to, on a more practical level, get a book done on humor, and make contact with event planners or associations.
Any other comments or? I guess not.
Well, it was just so great to be here today
Oh,
with
thank
you all. I just really appreciate it. And I'm sorry you missed me, Bonita Yoder.
I know.
It's okay.
Check out the recording. It was really good. Very from a very a high brain power guy.
High knowledge. person.
And I'll be working on that today, the one from last weekend, this week. And again, I apologize for just being inundated by over my
Hey,
head.
We're all inundated right now. So I totally get you, girlfriend.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, but stuff like that is way, way, way. I'm not kidding you. Way, way, way. You know what I'm talking about, Paul Michael Decker. Because those people don't even get back with you. You have you're just going, help, anybody help.
Oh yeah.
So can we share the link for next week to whoever?
Yeah, share it. Let people know you're going to be speaking. Yeah, let's crank it up. I love you guys. Have a fantastic week. I thank you for showing up and for being a part of this. We're not huge, but you know what? This was fantastic.
We're mighty.
We're mighty. I learned some things today. I really did, and I appreciate you, Carol. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Everybody
You're so
on.
welcome.
Okay, guys, it's it. That's a wrap.
Thank you.